Hello and welcome to my second live stream, as I am going to be setting up Solink Spawner in my example game for the Solink Game Jam #1. Nobody's in the stream yet, but I'm going to just go ahead with it and people can hop in whenever they can. Just check to see if... Alright. Okay, so since last time I had the dev video log, I was using the Toon Nature, I guess, asset. What was it called? Toon Fantasy Nature. And I did not like it for my game after I got into it. Not because it wasn't a nice looking asset, but basically because it was kind of piecemeal. I had to put together several scenes to make a decent sized game, but there was still a lot of empty areas. It wasn't really complete. And I didn't really want to build a level from scratch or have to do too much to add to it for a game that's just an example. So I found this Dreamscape Nature Mountain Stylized Open World environment, and I think that works much better. So I've replaced that in the scene. I've also added some ultimate sound effects and forest animals. And also my document, I started fleshing out some things. I've added coins to the collectibles, so I'm going to have various coins in the game. The gold coin is going to be for increasing your player score. There's going to be a green one for restoring stamina and a red one for restoring health. Right now I just have the gold one, which basically comes with the Mulber's sample scenes. So here we have the new scene. And I have a couple of these coins in here already. And I've got the egg, which we're going to make that into a collectible later on. I'm going to go ahead and just play this, and we can take a look at what the scene looks like now. You can see the coins already do collectibles. Very nice looking world. It's got some paths, it's got some various areas that we can use, but there's not much else in here. There's no AI roaming around, and that's what we're going to rectify now. Alright. So what I've done so far is I did create some prefab AI here. I created a buck, a doe, a fawn, a fox, and a hare. I got these from the I think it's called Red Deer Realistic Forest Animals pack. So just to get going, we've got our scene all set up, and it's always best to have your scene pretty much ready to go with your terrain, your lighting, your sky system, your player character, and all those things in here. And we've got all that. We've got our sky system, we've got our player character is the dragon, we've got the terrain, we've built the navigation system, we've got all those things ready to go. So what we do then is we can go into Solink's tools and do setup scene, and we're going to get these objects in here. Now I am also using my AI system, which is not allowed in the competition, but for purposes of my demo I'm using that because it's just easier for me to use. So I will also go to the Solink editor and do a setup scene. I'll just use the default database, that's fine with me. And so now I've also got the Solink manager, which is for the AI system. It's going to auto detect the player. I will be able to put some music and things in here. The spawner come up. We don't have a database for the spawner yet. So I'm going to go out to the main folder. I'm going to go ahead and call this Gideon's Gideon's Quest DB. We'll create. And now we've got that. As far as spawning options, I think the default settings for the most part will work. I might bump this up to 75. Delay spawns on start, only maybe about a second there. I don't know what the elevation is like in this terrain, but we'll start with just the defaults here and see if that works out. Spawn time sync frequency, we'll do this more often, 1 second. And for now, I'm just going to make this simple, and I'm going to add a anytime time of day to encompass the entire day. And just to get this going, just to see how everything's working, I'm going to do a biome. No biomes defined. Did I not? Oh, I forgot to define a biome. So I want to add a biome, and I'm not going to, again, just to get it started, I'm not going to create any particular biomes. I'm just going to do, so I'll call it a null biome, which means just everywhere, basically. So if I don't add any texture filters, then the biome will just consider the entire world valid, absent any other filters. So we're going to add to the null biome anytime time of day, and add a spawn. And for now, I'm just going to go ahead, let's put some fox in there. We'll start with the fox. Say maybe no more than 10 at a time, which is maybe a little high actually. But we could lower the probability. Let's make it 75. I'm just going to play with higher probabilities, higher populations to start, just so we can get an idea of what it looks like and what we're getting. I can actually make the scale of these objects a little smaller and slightly bigger, or just go 0.8 to 1, so you have a slightly smaller foxes and a little bit larger foxes. And I'm not going to do any other filters on these. I just want to get something up and running and see that it's working. So I've got one spawn. Save this, and I believe I did everything else right. Let's give it a try and see if we see any. Oh wait, you know what I want to do also? It's always good to put the debug canvas in your scene, at least during development. That'll come with an on-screen area that'll tell us how many spawns we have. So if we don't see anything spawning, and we have nothing there, then we know that maybe there's a problem. We can start turning debug on and whatnot. So let's go ahead and run. We don't see anything spawning, so there could be some issues. Oh, I would say we got unassigned reference. Oh. It's not finding the player. So maybe this tiger character is not marked as player. Oh, it's tagged as animal. We want this to be player. Let's give that a try again. Welcome, Bharat Sharma. Yeah, he's the first one to join. Alright, oh, we already got a fox right down there. So there's one of our first spawns. So we've got 10 of them, so there's probably another 9 around here somewhere. Oh, there's one over here. We can actually fly with this character, and we can look at there's a fox over here. I don't have these being hostile, or they're not afraid of anything, so they just kind of wander around. Okay, good. That looks good. Alright, so let's add some more animals. Can I show how to spawn items with dialog system or quest system? Yes, I will be getting to the quest system, but not right this moment. I'm going to get some basic spawns first, and then I can add in a quest. So let's get a couple more things in here. I'm going to go ahead and put in some more spawns. So I've got a fox. I'll go ahead and add the hare as well. Maybe lower probability, variable size. I also want to do a herd. So let's do add a herd. So let's go in here to our prefabs. Let's make a resources folder. Call this deer herd. I'm sorry if the project sometimes goes slow for some reason on my system. I don't know why. It gets hung up doing basically nothing. All right. Okay, so we're going to call this deer herd. We don't want too big of a population, maybe 3 to 8 in a radius of about 5. These other herds are from the demo. Add a spawn. Okay, so we're going to do first a buck. Now population cap, we don't want too many of these in the scene at one time. And they're going to be lower probability, maybe 50%. We can vary the scale of them, maybe a little bit bigger ones. Hello, Piyush Bansal, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing people's names wrong. And then we want to add the doe. Make this a little bit, maybe you can have more of these, maybe 8. Higher probability, maybe 70%, it seems good. We'll also vary the scale of these. And then finally we're going to add a fawn. Fawns also be lower population, but maybe a little bit more than bucks, so we'll say 5. And maybe a 60% probability. Vary the size. Okay, now we can go into our spawns. And we're going to add a spawn, another one. This time we'll select herd. And we can put deer herd. And that's it. So now let's go ahead and run this, and we should be able to see some deer, the hare, and the fox. Oh, there's a deer over there. Lots of deer, maybe more than I wanted, but hey. There's a fox walking around. There's a hare. And again, I didn't put any other filters on these, no biome filters. Pretty much will spawn anywhere. So that's that. Let's jump over here, fly. Alright, so that looks good. Let's see. Maybe we'll just go ahead and do the quest thing now. Now that we've got some here, because I could take it and say maybe only some of these appear during a certain quest. We need to add some quest system stuff in here. Yes, that is the Malbur's character controller, the little tiger. Where is it? Quest machine. I'm not a quest machine expert, but I know we need to put the quest machine in the scene. Okay, so there's that. We do need to make a quest object of some sort. So let's create a quest object. Pixel Crushers, quest machine, quest. We can call this, let's do it for the deer since they seem to be the most prominent. Deer hunt, we'll call it. So we're just kind of just playing around here. I always forget how this is. Okay, so I need to create, I believe, a new node. I think condition. And, well, we need to make a condition variable. Counter, I should say, counter variable. Actually, we don't need to do any of this. All we're going to do is say when this quest is active, we're going to actually put a filter, and so it's really not important, like that we actually make the valid quest here. But we should have some text here, though. I think we can. Let's change this here. Quest ID. We'll call this Deer Hunt. Let's see. We need to start. We'll call this, even though we're not going to actually do this, we'll just call this one Kill Deer, like as if we were going to kill deer. So we want this to automatically activate for now. Let's see, quest ID is Deer Hunt. Quest node ID, Kill Deer. Don't know if I did that right. Oh, put no spaces. So that should set the Deer Hunt node to, we want to make it active. Let's see. I am not a quest machine expert here. I'm going to have to look at one of my examples here. Hold on. Quest machine. Where is it? Get the documentation up. Okay, so we want to set up these headings. So if we're active, the HUD text, heading text, I believe, call it Hunt Deer. I'll just see what happens if I run that. I don't know if I have enough to activate it. Did not. Oh, you know, I gotta add, I forgot, I gotta add like the quest journal and all this kind of stuff. Don't I? So the player needs a quest journal. gotta add the quest in there. Deer hunt. See if I have enough. Okay, still didn't do anything. Oh, of course. What else do I need? Sorry, I'm just passing familiar with the quest machine enough to get the integration working and the basics. So I'm trying to remember what I'm missing here. I've got. Do I have to add anything to here? No, I've got the quest journal and the player. It's got a quest. Does this need to be activated? Oops. Okay, let's see. Auto start. Oh, maybe I need to do this. Quest. No, don't think that's right. You know, I might have to load up a project and take a quick. Oh, there says hunt deer. Oh, it worked. So up in the right corner now says hunt deer. So that quest should be considered active, I believe. Okay, some things started spawning in. There's some deer. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go into spawner and go to the deer herd. And I do not have. Oh, you know what? I forgot to. I need to add the quest manager to the scene. Set up scene again now that we have quest machine in there. Now we have a quest manager. And now we have quest filters here. So I could now add. Don't have a quest. Alright, I do have to set up the actual quest object on quest manager. This is not the newest version, so I'd have to do this the manual way. So we'll create an empty game object, call this quest deer hunt, and we'll add the quest to it. Quest machine quest. So make sure we select the deer hunt quest. We don't have any entries, do we? Okay. So we're missing something still. We'll go ahead and add the counter. Deer killed. See if that comes up now. I'm missing something here. Entry name. Don't know why it's not showing up. Internal name, maybe? Sorry about that. Don't know why we don't have an entry name. Well, that might be enough though for now. Let's take another look here. Oh, there we go. So we got the quest now. we can select the deer hunt, and we have the include or exclude. So right now the hunt is active, so it'll have deer, but let's do exclude. So if this is which is kind of not what we want really in real life, but just for purposes to show how this works, we'll say when you're in the deer hunt, there's no deer. So now we shouldn't see deer spawning, hopefully. Let's take a look. If there is, then there's something else wrong. Yeah, I don't see any deer. There's a fox. So no deer. Okay, so if we go back and say we want it included, then maybe we should start getting deer again. And there they are. Sorry for the kind of shaky setup. I'm more familiar with the dialogue system than the quest machine. It's a little weird to me, the quest machine method of setting up quests, but I hope that made sense. Okay. So one thing I want to do is kind of a unique way of spawning. I'm going to create a spawn area. What I want to be able to do is, we've got these coins that you can collect, as I showed down here. Let me run that again so you can see. So these coins, you can run and collect them. What I want to be able to have is coins that, you know, maybe you have a string of coins on a path, and then you can pick them up, and then after a certain length of time they'll come back, and you can go back if you come back to the area and you can pick them up again. So what I'm going to do is create an area for that. Call this coin trail. And we'll just say any time of day is fine. Okay, now I know we've got a coin pickup here. Where's this coin from? Select it. Okay, so that's the coin prefab here. So I'm going to make that the object that spawns in the area. And I mean, I could make as many as I want. I'm just going to make a trail of no more than 10. We'll make it 100% probability because we do want it to always spawn the coins. And I see somebody named Michael Murphy who just came in. I know Michael Murphy, so is that the Michael Murphy I know? If it is, welcome. Wow. Long time no see. So now I've got this area for this coin. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, for now I'm going to place it, I'll place it over here. And do this, hit the C button to do create. And it's basically there. So let's kind of move it down so it's over this trail here. And we'll say a manual, let's do an override trigger radius. So when you come within this green area, it'll start spawning coins. Now what I could do, in fact, for the first pass, I'm just going to have it just spawn coins and they'll just randomly appear in here. But then later I'm going to create a trail of points, so it'll always be following the trail. But for now, just a very simple, maybe make it only about an 8 spawn radius. And max spawns 10. What else do we need here? Reset the area. We will leave the reset on, and we'll say when out of range, which means that what will happen is we can collect all these coins, and then we'll go outside this trigger, come back in, and there'll be more coins. And I think that's all we need for that to work. So let's give that a try. Oh. Oh, good to see that. So, Piyush Bansal, you are yay boy. I don't know how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry, but thank you. Welcome. Okay, so we got these two that I placed manually, and then the other should appear when I come over here. Unless I did something wrong, but we'll find that out. I'm not seeing anything, so I must have done something wrong. What did I do wrong? Let's take a look here. It says it's not triggered. So, did I make it too... That should have worked. I mean, I could align this a little better, but nah, it's not going to matter. It doesn't really align that way. Okay, what could be wrong? It does have this spawning. Not sure why. So let's see if we can figure out why. So one way you can debug this. So this is good to just show the debugging. If we go to Solink Spawner, debug options, we're going to turn off biome spawn. So none of the deer and the fawns and all the other things will spawn. Only the areas will be affected. And then we can turn on debugging mode here. And then if we look on the here, we'll see if what's going on. Maybe like why is it not? Could be elevation or something. You know, it said it wasn't triggering it though, so maybe the collision's not working against this character. That could be the reason. So we're not even triggering it for some reason. I'm not sure why that would be the case. Let me look at this character. It's got a rigid body, and I know it has colliders. I should have checked this character before, but I did not. Physics. So what do we have here? You can... it's an animal. Don't need any of these. Animal to... Actually, it's the player, right? Where's the player? Oh, no, it's an animal layer. That's right. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. That's what it is. So this thing is set on a layer called animal, but Spawner's got... I think it's going to be looking for a player layer, maybe. I think so. Let's make the tiger player layer. Hope that doesn't affect. We don't have a player layer. I wonder. Let's just add one and see. No, I think it's looking for the player tag actually, but hang on. What could this be? Sorry for this. Physics. Default. That should trigger. I do have a little test collider. Let's see, there's a collision detection on the foot. I'm going to put, I've got a collision test script, collision check, so I can see what it's, maybe it's colliding with something different. colliding with terrain at the moment. Oh, it says collided with spawn area. So it should be triggering it. But it's saying it's not triggered. So there's some reason why it's not triggering. Let me check. The joys of coding. Trying to find bugs. Okay. So let's look at debugging. So people that are not familiar with breakpoint debugging, this could be useful. So I'm going to put a breakpoint on this line of code, which is where the collision trigger is going to occur. It is comparing player tags, so that should work. Let's take a look and see what happens when it hits that trigger. Something's telling it don't trigger. Okay, so it hit there. Manual trigger's false. Is trigger is false. Is valid is true. So far so good. And the oh, I think I know. So it's colliding with the different individual colliders on this player, which there's a head collider, and it's probably marked as animal instead of player, and it's looking for this to be a player tag. So normally their players are going to be marked player tag where the collider is. So let's go ahead and fix that. So there should be a head collider somewhere here. This is the kind of thing, I'm glad this happened, because this is the kind of thing that'll happen to everybody. You know, you'll get some controller and it'll have a different collider on a different layer, different tag, different whatever, and then you're like, so we're going to call this a player tag on the head, so we know that should now trigger it. So should be good to go. Oh yeah, thanks Mike. Yeah, Comer64. Remember the D&D character generator we used to use for our characters? What was your character, Horace Mann? Hey, there we go. We got a bunch of coins now. Yay! So now we can collect coins. Okay, so let's exit the area. And if we come back, they should respawn. Unless I didn't go far enough out. Did I not go far enough? Let's go further. Okay, come back. I'm not colliding with it apparently, or something. Yeah, it might have been, oh, you know what? Let's go a little further away. I think maybe out of range it has to be further away. Let's try that. Fly along here. See if we can trigger it again. I'm still not triggering it again. Not sure why. It's triggered. I'm not sure it's resetting, maybe the problem. I'm not sure why it's not resetting. I might have to come back to that another time. I might have to debug that. Let's do something here. Let's say, let's just do a duration instead. Game time duration. runtime hours. Let's do seconds. Let's do 120 seconds. Now 60 seconds. So it'll be just a minute. We could also change how many coins it spawns. So like the next time around there'd be more spawns. But we'll leave it at that. And let's see. See if that one resets correctly. If not, we may have a bug here I don't know about. Hey Mike, good to see you. Alright. If I can collect all these in 60 seconds. Okay. See if it works. Nothing yet. Keep saying it's still triggered, so I have a feeling there might be a bug here. Take a chance, so we'll go ahead. Let's go back to the original one, and I'll go ahead and see if we can figure out why it's not resetting like it's supposed to. I want to make fewer coins this time though. Actually, go in here. Let's just do 3 coins. And we're going to look at the reset code. Okay, pair reset. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Okay, so it's supposed to come into here. So let's see if it ever gets here. There might be a problem here. If we don't resolve this time, then I'll just move on. And if anybody else, does anybody else have anything specific they want to see, I can do that. Let's go ahead and try this. Okay, we just got 3 coins this time. Okay, now we exit the trigger, it should go into the debug. Unless it's not exiting the trigger. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so step through. Oh, here we go again. Okay. So all these they have lots of different colliders on this little character, and so it's exiting the trigger, but it's being triggered by a different collider, and all these colliders don't have the player tag on them. So it's the same issue we saw already. So let me look at this track. So track. Make that player. Let's look at track trigger. There's probably multiple ones. Yeah, there's a bunch of these. Make these all player. A lot of times what looks like a bug is just a bad setup. And that's what we're seeing here. Which is good to know. Alright, so now we should be able to exit and come back and see more coins. And I hope I'm not boring anybody. I've only done these, it's the only second time I've done a live stream, and the first time that I've actually had somebody actually in the live stream. Okay. So now we should be able to re-trigger it this time, and hopefully, I hope so anyway. I'm still not getting it, so what did we do wrong again? Possible we didn't go far enough again. Alright, let's try this again. Make sure we get, maybe there's another collider we missed. Alright, there's the coins. Okay, let's see if we get the exit trigger here. Okay, here we go. So what have we got colliding with? The head. So that should have worked. Reset trigger. Okay. Do reset trigger. Oh, looks like it should work actually. Maybe it's doing it multiple times. It is. Don't know why that would matter though, but perhaps it does. I'll do one more thing and then we'll just give up on this for now because maybe it's not set up quite right. So it is exiting. Alright. Last try for now. Okay, so that's the first time trigger. We know that one works okay. Lots of colliders are hitting it. That's interesting. What else is going in there? Ah. Where's it? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're going to exit and come back and see what may be wrong. Trigger Enter. Oops. Continue. Viro sky. Why in the world is this sky colliding with it? No idea. Well, that is really strange. No, we're going to skip this and go to here. Okay. Yeah, it looks like maybe it's either did not reset the total spawns or something. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for now. I'll have to investigate that later. Maybe I've got something set up wrong still. Well, let's go ahead and do what I was gonna do, which is create the coin trail. So we'll take this area. And instead of a spawn radius, spawn radius, we'll say spawn points. So we'll add points. Let's just do 4 points. Now what you have to do is create just some actual transforms in the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and put them underneath the area. Let's call it spawn point. Okay, well that's a good spot there. Let's duplicate it 3 times so we have 4 of them. So I'll put one there, one here, put another one over here. I'm not going to be too precise on these, I'll just move them approximate. And the third one, let's move it further up the trail. Okay, then I can add these to here. Go ahead and see now. Yeah, just make sure I'm not debugging anymore. Get a better view. Alright, let's see what we got now. Okay, so now we have spawns in a row here. I'm missing one. I thought we had 4. We do. Oh, I know, I forgot to say max spawns up 4 now, so we have all 4 of them. So now we should get the 4 spawns. And I could probably position these better, but hey. If I could get the reset to work now, once I figure that out, I'll post a solution for why that wasn't working. Then you'd be able to come back here later and collect coins again. I don't know why it's not working still. Alright. Alright, now what we can do, we go back and turn back on our biome spawns. I'm going to take off that condition for the quest thing, so we don't need that quest filter. And now we go back, we'll have the animals again. There's our deer. Another little rabbit. Where'd he go? Thought I saw him. Oh, there he is. Oh, some deer decided to hang out in here. Alright. One thing else I'm going to add while I'm here is some music. I'm going to create a playlist ambient. Well, this is a feature of the upcoming AI system, but there are other systems similar to this. I'm going to go ahead and make a playlist. And add an audio clip to it. And this is really good one for the beginning of the adventure called First Steps. And I'll just play that one for now. So if I go into my Solink Manager, I can say play, set this ambient playlist here. And what else? I think that's everything. So now we should, I believe it should play right off the bat. Yep. It feels like he's just starting off into the world for the first time. Fight, so eventually we'll have some monsters he can fight. But the beauty of the spawn system is that you can go through the whole world and you'll find more spawns wherever you go. So let's explore a little and we'll see the animals appearing. Find some more animals. Oh, there's some deer. I like this log spot. No, there's more animals out here somewhere. I want to add some more animals too. There's some there's some boars and some moose. Oh, there's another one over there. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yep, there's a rabbit. And a fox. Alright. I think that's all I was going to show for right now. I'll try and figure out that reset thing later. Does anybody have any other things that they wanted to see specifically while I'm here? Yeah, the suppress spawns feature. Yes, we can do that. So let's show that. So maybe the start for now, what I can do is I can create an area, a special area. Let's create one called biome suppression. I'll say any time of day. We're not going to add any spawns whatsoever to this. We just want to have a defined area name. And we can create this in the scene. I'm going to put it right here at the start area. Ish. Close to the start area. Let's try and get it close to where the character's at. Okay. What we're going to do is have spawn radius. Sorry, we're going to do the suppress biome spawn. So click that. And how big of a radius? Let's make it 128. And we don't really have a spawn radius because there's going to be nothing there. This area won't spawn anything itself. We don't need to reset it or anything. We can just leave it like that though, I think. I think so. At this point, we shouldn't get anything spawning nearby because we've got this suppression on here. Let's just take a look. I don't see anything anywhere nearby. Yeah. So, and the spawn radius for this setup is only 75, so we're not going to see anything unless we move a little ways. So let's move this way and we'll start seeing stuff. You see total spawn still 0. Up there, now we're outside the range. We're starting to pick up some numbers. See them yet, but they're around here somewhere. But they won't go in that area unless you know, they wander into that area, but, you know. I am going to make an AI, in the AI system where AI will resist, won't want to go into areas, like they'll stay away from them. I'm getting spawns, but I'm not seeing them yet. Oh, there's some deer over there. And a fox. And a rabbit. If we go back now to the suppression area, then they'll all fade away and they'll be gone. So they're starting to go away, and they're just going to eventually get to 0, and now we're clear. That makes sense? And there you have it. Anything else we can do? We can, of course, you know, have different creatures day and night. I could add the more specific spawning texture areas. Does anybody want to see any other particular feature while I'm on? If not, I'm probably going to call this done for now, and then I'll plan a different one with some more, once I put more detail in the actual game, and then I can come back and show off some more things. We force the AI out using Emerald AI. So what do you mean, like out of that area that's suppressing? Like force them not to be in there? Is that what you mean? So they won't even wander in there? Yeah, with Emerald AI, their wander radius isn't even like fixed. So if they say wander within a radius of 10, they don't stay within 10 of that home position. They could go 10, then go another 10 and another 10. They could end up on the other end of the world. But as far as preventing them from going into an area, I mean, I suppose you could, there's no direct feature for that. You could probably maybe put some sort of barrier there so they couldn't get in there, but the player could get through possibly, I would think. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, is maybe some sort of barrier to prevent them from being in there. Or like, oh, you know, you could make a navigation, a Nav Mesh Modifier, so that that area does not allow navigation. Have you used that before? Let me find that. So like, let's do this. I think it's the modifier one. No, Nav Mesh. Oh, you know, I don't have that installed. If you have the AI navigation package installed, which I don't have in this particular one, I can go ahead and install that. Let me do that. I don't require it, but you can install it. So you've got a package manager. Actually, let me look up. Give me a minute. So in the setup, installation, here we go. So in the installation guide, it talks about this AI navigation package. With the store version currently, you have to install this, but with the beta version, you do not have to install it, which is why I don't have it installed right now. But I'm going to go ahead and you want to put this name, com.unity.ai navigation, if you don't already have it, but you probably will if you have the store version and not using the beta. But let me go ahead and install that. You would go to Unity registry. Actually, no, you don't need to do that. Just go to this add package from get URL, paste that in and add it. Okay, it's pretty easy to do this modifier, so if you definitely don't want anything to go into an area, this should work. Let me just get it installed. It's actually another way to, instead of even having a suppression area like I have, you could literally prevent anything from getting in there. But of course, in a village scenario, you wouldn't want to do that. That's possible. This may not work for you then, because you want your villagers to still walk around. But with this, they wouldn't even be able to. But maybe you could make like a kind of a barrier around the village. We could try that. Let's see. If it'll install. It's taking its time. This is what I mean by my system taking forever sometimes. This should not take this long. Okay, well that's installed. Let's take a look now and see if I can find that object. Modifier. Oops. There's Nav Mesh Modifier and Nav Mesh Modifier Volume. I can't remember which one. Let's try this one. Okay, so yeah, the volume one's probably the one. So let's say you wanted to you could make a barrier around your village. Like, I'm just going to make the shape like, it's kind of hard to see with all this blue, but I'm making like a cube-shaped thing. And obviously you could make multiple ones of these and have them going around your village or whatever. And then you would change this to not walkable. I think that would work. I don't see it taking effect though. Hard to tell if is it underground or? Not sure if that's the one. Let's turn off the suppression area. See what it looks like at runtime and see if that's the right one. Okay, what does it look like? I don't know if that worked. Let's try the other one. Override area. Oh, I think that just, so this goes on an object itself. So if you had like a cube already in the scene, you could add this to it and it would override. So we do have the right one. I mean, just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and put it over here, make it much bigger. If I can't find the handles. Actually, I'll just modify it manually. Let's make it like 32 by 32 by 5. So I'm putting it in this area here. In theory, they shouldn't be able to walk in that area. So I don't have the suppression area. Let's see what happens. I don't think anything will be able to come into here. Well, maybe it's not working. See how big of an area is that? I would have thought we could see like the mesh be modified in real time, but maybe I'm missing something. Well, you didn't come into the area. It looks like they're right at the edge there, maybe. I'm not sure why that's not showing it. Let's make it bigger and we'll try to... Yeah, I have a feeling that's not quite right. Center. How close that fox gets. I know what we can try. Let me do something here. I'm going to put a location, a couple locations. This is from my AI system. This will give places where the AI can roam to. And I'm going to make the fox use that as a wandering. As he'll wander between those. Locations. We'll see if it can get to those locations when it has that modifier. He's heading this way. It's not working. Yeah. Other foxes are wandering to that location, so I must have something set up wrong, but that is what the purpose of that is to modify that so it's not walkable, but for some reason it's not quite working. You might want to take a look online, see if you can figure out, but really thought that should have worked. Alright, another thing I want to look at after this. So, something for you to look at, but I don't know why that did not work. Anything else that hopefully I can answer? Yeah, you know, that's probably it. Yeah, that may be it. It may be only work with the runtime navigation. You're right. You know what? That's a good idea. Let me see if I can. Let's give that a try. See if we can bring that thing back. I deleted it. Yeah, let's turn off the navigation here. Clear. I don't know why in this version of Unity it seems to like not clear some of this stuff. So where is this? Okay, there's the That's a pretty big area. Okay, so let's turn on the integration for that. Unity AI navigation. Okay. Then we're going to turn on generate nav mesh. We'll just go with the default options. I think that's all we need. Take a look at what it looks like in here. I don't know if that did anything different. Still looks like it's walkable. Or maybe it's this. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I've done this before with trees so that they don't walk on trees. But it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, I'll have to look at that again. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure why that's not working. But I just showed you how to use the runtime navigation system in the spawner. So now the scene doesn't have a baked nav mesh anymore. You have to look that up though and figure out what's the deal is. Alright, I'm going to have to close this for now. I think I've gone too long and probably the file's probably really big and taking up too much space. So thanks everybody for showing up, and I'll do another one of these soon. Take care.